What's up, guys? This is Steve Alejos, and we're here today in Miami, South Florida with Ceviche Bowl, brought to you by Being Peruvian, cooking the Peruvian way. And we're gonna talk to our boy Fernando, the owner of Ceviche Bowl, and he's gonna tell us what he's preparing today. You guys ready? Let's get cooking.
Hey Steve,
what's up, man?
Welcome to Ceviche Bowl.
Thanks, brother. So what are you making us today, man?
For today we have a ceviche mixto, and we're gonna make a little present for you guys.
Nice,
we'll see
nice.
as we go. I wanna get a feeling for what you guys might be in the mood for.
That's dope, man. All right, so let's get cooking.
So this is the number one thing that you're gonna need today.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm honored.
So just as you can see, this is our kitchen, this is our lab. It's been customized to our liking to fit what we were gonna do. So little by little, we're gonna be adding liquid nitrogen, some other stuff. So we're always gonna be able to have something new for everybody.
That's dope. All right, man. So let's get to it. All right, Fernando. So give us a tour here in Ceviche Bowl, man.
All right. So this is our frying station.
Okay.
This is where all the jalea magic happens. Okay. This is our grill.
Wow.
Here we make all our steaks, tomahawks. Sometimes we make anything you want that can be grilled. We make it here. Our salamander, just nice finish to anything that you might like a rocoto relleno, or a little sandwich, something that might need a little bit extra loving.
Now, is this something you see like in other like food trucks and stuff like that? Or?
Not really. This has been done from thinking about a very big restaurant, something very professional, and try to fit it into a food truck.
That's what I'm saying. It's like all this stuff looks pretty like professional stuff, like you would find at a restaurant. Like you managed to put everything in this food truck. Like how'd you do that? Like how?
They actually didn't want to let us fit this many things because they thought it might overload the food truck. But we were like, either we make it happen or we make it happen. So we put an extra wheel on the bottom so it can hold all the weight.
Freaking way.
This trailer actually weighs 15,000 pounds, so you need an F450 to be able to haul it anywhere.
That's crazy.
So, and here we have the magic, the Ceviche Bowl magic.
Everything looks just so fresh, man. Like this is amazing.
Everything is cut every day, and that's what having a food truck actually helps you. And a lot of people don't understand that, but when you have something bigger, the bigger it gets, it's the harder to maintain.
And the crazy thing is about Peruvian food, it's like, it has to be served fresh. Right. Like you can't store this or microwave this. Like people will know it's not fresh. Like when you're doing ceviche, when you're doing the lomo, like as soon as you do the lomo saltado, like you have to serve it, right?
It's, we actually don't even do deliveries more than a mile radius. So that way the food can be as fresh as possible to whoever gets it. So we cut up everything every morning. You cannot store almost anything in here because you have tight quarters. Yeah. So it can only be the freshest ingredients. Wow.
So what's the first dish we're gonna be preparing today,
We're gonna make a little leche de tigre just so we can actually begin the tasting of like something that will open up your appetite.
Okay, dale, vamos.
So we're gonna begin with our leche de tigre is actually made from scratch every morning. Okay. So we get celery, ginger, onions, cilantro, ajilimo, fish, everything into a blender, and we blend it, and it brings out like this nice little citrusy soup that you can say that it's just.
And people actually will drink it off the bowl, right? When they're done.
We have everybody. Our bowls have been made for people to drink, and everybody's like, I'm sorry with my etiquette. I don't wanna, I don't wanna look rude or whatnot, but I'm gonna chug this.
Sin vergüenza.
So I'll show you what our leche de tigre looks like. So our leche de tigre, when we make it, it will look like this. And you can almost
really
smell it.
That. Wow, you can really smell the aroma coming out from that.
It smells.
Oh, it's amazing, man.
Like the sea.
Wow. Wow.
So when anybody orders our leche tigre, nobody makes it like this. I think we're the first people to actually make it how they would make it in Peru. Yeah. It's literally all the blended ingredients and what's left, of the consomme. Like we're gonna be able to eat that and drink that at the same time. Wow. So we're gonna add a little bit of salt to our leche, a little bit of pepper. Pepper is always an ingredient that gets like lost or forgotten. but it's actually one of the best ingredients that you can add to any ceviche.
Gives a nice little kick.
Gives it a nice, it actually changes the flavor a little bit of the ceviche.
And it kind of brings out the flavors out too, right? That's what I was thinking.
A little bit of garlic, and then we're gonna move that, just intensifying the flavors. Why more garlic? Because the garlic, it's kind of like a ceviche, you have to put in your ceviche. You have to let that fish marinate and catch all the flavors, because once you add the lime, it will start automatically breaking it down. So the more flavor you put into it, the more flavor it's gonna have once it reaches your tongue. Okay. So, and then we're gonna add a little bit of cilantro, and we're gonna add our leche de tigre. So this is what comes out of the blending.
That is very different from what I've seen in traditional, but I mean, I'm liking it already, so it's like I can already tell it's gonna taste amazing.
Now, Peruvians, especially myself, we like a little bit of spice. Sure. Ají limo gives it its nice little aroma. And then we're gonna, actually that's it, we're gonna plate it. Okay. And if we wanna make it a mixto, we're gonna add a little bit of calamari and shrimp to it, and it's gonna be just the perfect orgy.
So what kind of types of ceviches out there? I mean,
right now, I mean, everybody's making ceviche, even from apples right about now. Leche de tigre de manzana. I mean, it's you can make almost leche de tigre out of anything, which helps you make a ceviche out of anything. So, I mean, even liquid nitrogen, they've been adding to it, and it looks almost like an ice cream. So,
now this looks like you would find this at a restaurant, like a high-end restaurant. This is amazing. It's not like your average food truck at all. It really is. It really is like a moving restaurant. You know, I mean, you're finding this in the middle of Miami. It's just it's almost like a treasure, bro. It's like it's amazing.
So we're gonna add a little bit of the shrimp and calamari to our leche tigre. Make it nice. Wow. It's gonna look almost like it came out right out of the sea.
Yeah, it really does. That looks so amazing, man.
Cebollita picada en cuadritos.
This is so cool, guys.
And then we're just gonna add a little bit of cilantro to finish it up.
And how did you learn about how to make it this way? Is it something from did you experiment, or did you just wake up one morning and say, you know what, I'm gonna make it this way? Like who inspired you? What was your motivation behind this dish?
I've had a lot of real good mentors throughout my young career, and they've all been very influential to my style, including my friend Darwin Santa Maria in Sarasota, Darwin's on 4th. Also, the whole team at Dr. Limon, they've been great at inspiring us to be, better and change everything. Ceviche 105 being the classic, where all the Peruvians used to go and have a real good ceviche. So it's been an influence of everything, and now having Lamar in Miami, somebody as big as Lamar, it helps a lot in influencing and getting better. Everybody just needs to get better in order for everybody to get better.
I mean, that's what it's all about, really. It's really trying to bring out the culture, and that's what we're doing, man. We're trying to bring out you guys like you coming out with amazing plates like this, and really bringing out to the people out there to recognize the Peruvian culture, the gastronomía, todo lo que es bonito de Perú. It's freaking awesome, man.
That's exactly what we want to do. Everybody has influenced everybody, I think, at a certain point and level, and that's the most important thing, that we keep that tradition, living and customizing it to every single age group that comes and tries it. So, okay, so now we're gonna have the leche de tigre mixta. This is the way that we make it here. Nice little lumps of fish. So it's gonna make the flavor stand out even more.
All right, man. Let's go. Come on, dig in, brother. Ready? Oh. That is so good. Like the way you did like a mixture and everything, the acidity, the pepper that you did really brings it out too. But it's just so fresh, man. It really feels like you're just eating at the beach.
Right, and that's the whole point. We wanted everybody to kind of like be thrown back to a kind of like in Lima, where you know, in El Malecón, right there, like eating a nice little ceviche.
Amazing, man. That was so good. All right, let's do another plate. All right, so Fernando, how is he preparing the picarones today?
So our picarones go through about a 4-hour process, including a cooking time of about an hour for the cabocha, which is like this really big Japanese pumpkin. We also use sweet potato, and we let it, we put some yeast into it, so that way it rises. And you'll see that although it looks like it's this big, once it's done, it's actually like about 8 orders of picarones. So that's one of our best sellers. And our touch that we make it ours is we put a little bit of cinnamon sugar at the end. And it gives it this like flavor that's kind of like a donut mixed with a buñuelo.
I was just gonna say, but for the Americans out there, like
yeah.
what would this be? What would this be considered as? Almost like a.
So for all the Latinos that you know maybe have not really liked the donut, don't really like donuts, or haven't had a donut, this would be as close to a buñuelo. And to us, this is actually a you know our Peruvian donut. Right now, he's putting a little bit of the little powdered cinnamon and sugar.
So it's really just trying to put all the cinnamon all together, right? Like just tossing it around.
The idea is for it not to be too sugary. It also has parts of it being our classic take on it, but we believe the sugar and the cinnamon gives it a nicer flavor profile for everybody, not just for Peruvians.
Now, would this be like considered as a dessert or an appetizer?
Or dessert, and some people actually have it as an appetizer or with a meal, with an anticucho. So a lot of people eat anticuchos and picaron.
I mean, when I was living in Queens, New York, I would see this on the street, so I would consider this almost like a street food, right? Right.
And that's the idea, you know, bring back the traditional Peruvian dishes.
Una miel de chancaca.
So yeah, the honey that he's putting on is a chancaca glaze.
Chancaca hecha se hace con hojas de higo, la chancaca, piña,
The pineapple,
ajá, y azúcar morena.
and some sugar.
And fig.
Oh, and fig Newtons.
Fig.
Not Newtons, like fig. the fruit fig. And that's it?
That's
¿Eso es
it.
todo?
That's it.
Gracias, caballero. So this is the picarones. I would usually find this like in the streets of Queens, honestly, in La Roosevelt. Shout out to people in Queens. This is actually one of my favorite things. You know the reason why I like the brown donuts, the regular brown donuts, because it reminds me of picarones.
It's the closest thing
Yes,
that
it's
we
the
have.
closest thing that we have. That's why I like it, and that's most of my friends tell me why we the brown ones, because of this one. So I can't wait to taste this out. So me and you, let's do it. All right, guys, so we're gonna taste the picarones. Let's go ahead. Oh, so good, man. It's like so sweet. I have a crusty outside.
You want to get the little fluffiness in the inside. You kind of taste a little bit of the dough.
Yeah, and the sauce. I mean, that kick of the sauce, man, with the cinnamon, really makes a huge difference.
When we cook here in Miami, at least, or out of Peru, you want to always remember that you're not just cooking for a Peruvian audience. You're cooking for an audience that's, you know, as Latin as possible, but also, you know, new to this experience. So if you cannot attack them and be like, this is our thing and this is the way, you have to make it in a way that they will also enjoy and like it. And that's kind of what Peruvian food is. You know, Japanese brought influence, Italians brought influence, and then we as Peruvians, we made it even better. So, you know, the same thing has to be with food. That's our mission.
I totally agree with you. I mean, you really brought out a lot of the flavors into this one too, because, you know, some people wouldn't really recognize certain flavors in this, but, you know, when you told me the cinnamon, at first when I thought about it, like, yeah, it makes sense. But, you know, now actually trying it with the cinnamon sauce that he made with, I think it has like some type of, what's it called? Some some fig and some grape. He said some grape.
Pineapple.
Pineapple. So all that together really just, it's so sweet, but just so good. And honestly, all his foods are not heavy at all. So, I mean, you really gotta try it out. I'm sorry to say, but this is over now. The journey is over, just kidding. The journey has just started, and the first stop was Ceviche Bowl here in Miami. Fernando, where can they find you? Shout out your Instagram, your website, whatever you got. Tell us where we can find you, brother.
You can find us on Ceviche Bowl on almost any platform, or Google us Ceviche Bowl Miami, and you will find us. And we are always located here in 12005 Southwest 129th Court in Miami, Florida. And we never move from this area. We're almost always here unless there's a big event or something, and we'll let everybody know way ahead of time.
Fernando, it was a pleasure meeting you, brother.
Thank you.
You and your crew are awesome, humble people, and you know, you guys just made a friend. So I'm definitely gonna come back again. Guys, this was Ceviche Bowl in Miami with Fernando. Until next time.